First contact and betrayal. The vastness of space had always called to humanity. By 2157, mankind had established colonies on Mars, Europa, and Titan, with outposts stretching to the Kuiper Belt. The discovery of the Alcubierre drive 15 years prior had finally broken the light-speed barrier, allowing humans to push beyond the confines of their solar system. Humanity's first interstellar colony, Nova Haven, orbited Proxima Centauri, home to nearly 40,000 pioneers. Hope and excitement permeated human civilization as the Explorer Corps ventured ever outward, mapping new star systems and searching for signs of other intelligent life. Captain Elena Reyes stood on the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, the most advanced explorer vessel in Earth's nascent fleet. At 43, with silver streaks in her black hair and piercing hazel eyes, she had spent half her life in space. The Pathfinder had been probing the edges of what the crew called the Veil Nebula when their sensors detected artificial signals. Analysis complete, Captain, reported Science Officer Marcus Chen, excitement evident in his voice, despite his professional demeanor. The signals are definitely not natural. We're picking up what appears to be communication traffic between at least 7 distinct sources. Elena felt a mixture of exhilaration and apprehension. Humanity had found evidence of extinct civilizations on 2 exoplanets, but this would be first contact with a living, spacefaring species. Maintain distance and passive observation protocols, she ordered. Let's learn what we can before announcing ourselves. For 3 weeks, the Pathfinder monitored the alien communications while linguists and AIs worked to decipher the language. They learned they had encountered the Valforan Empire, a species that had colonized over 30 star systems. The Valforans appeared reptilian, with iridescent scales and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern on their elongated faces. After careful consideration and consultation with Earth's Interstellar Council, Elena was authorized to initiate first contact. The Pathfinder broadcast carefully crafted greetings in both human languages and the rudimentary Valforan they had managed to translate. The response came swiftly. 3 Valforan vessels approached, sleek, crimson ships that moved with graceful precision. Their commander, Supreme Executor Thrix Xandar, appeared on the view screen, his scales shimmering with blue and green iridescence that denoted high rank in their society. "Greetings, humans of Earth," Xandar said through the translation system. "The eternal Valforan Empire welcomes you to the stars. We have observed your kind from afar and find your achievements impressive for such a young species." The initial meeting exceeded all expectations. The Valforans seemed genuinely interested in cultural exchange and trade. They expressed admiration for human art, music, and scientific innovation. Diplomatic relations were established, and within months, Valforan representatives visited Earth, while human diplomats were welcomed at Corvesh, the Valforan throne world. Emperor Drexel himself hosted the human delegation, displaying what appeared to be tremendous respect. "Your species has accomplished in centuries what took ours millennia," he told Earth's ambassadors. "We see great potential in this friendship." Trade agreements were signed. The Valforans offered advanced technology in exchange for human cultural artifacts and resources abundant in Earth's territories, but rare in theirs. The arrangement seemed mutually beneficial. Humans gained technological insights that accelerated their development, while the Valforans gained access to Earth's rich artistic heritage and natural resources. For 3 years, relations flourished. Humans and Valforans collaborated on scientific projects. Cultural exchanges became common. Some humans even began residing on Valforan worlds, while a small number of Valforan scholars made their homes on Earth and its colonies. Admiral William Harrington, head of Earth Fleet Command, was among the few who maintained skepticism. "They're too accommodating," he argued in closed sessions of the Defense Council. "They give us technology, but nothing that could threaten them militarily. They study us constantly, but reveal little about themselves." His concerns were dismissed as paranoia by most, though President Sophia Chen took note. quietly authorizing him to develop contingency plans without public knowledge. Harrington's caution proved prescient. On May 17, 2161, Nova Haven Colony went dark. When the patrol vessel UES Vigilant arrived to investigate, they found devastation. The colony had been methodically destroyed, its 40,000 inhabitants massacred. Evidence pointed unmistakably to Valforan weapon signatures. Before the Vigilant could report back, 3 Valforan battlecruisers emerged from hyperspace. Their commander, Sub-Executor Valzix, appeared on the view screen. "Human vessel," he addressed them without pretense of friendliness. "Your species has been evaluated and found wanting. The eternal Valforan Empire has determined you are too unpredictable to be permitted unrestricted growth. You will return to your homeworld with our terms. Humanity will remain confined to your solar system. All extraterrestrial colonies will be abandoned. You will provide annual tribute of resources and technology. Comply, and your homeworld will be spared. Resistance will result in extinction." The Vigilant transmitted this ultimatum to Earth before the Valforan ships opened fire, destroying it with all hands. On Earth, the revelation stunned humanity. The Valforans had systematically gathered intelligence while presenting a false face of friendship. Their embassy on Earth vanished overnight, leaving behind only automated messages reiterating their demands. Their true nature became apparent as analysts reviewed past interactions with new understanding. The Valforan Empire had a pattern of finding promising species, studying them, then either subjugating or eliminating them depending on their assessment. Publicly, Earth's Interstellar Council appeared to capitulate. They announced the withdrawal of all extraterrestrial operations beyond the solar system and accepted the humiliating terms. Valforan monitoring stations were established at the edge of Sol system to ensure compliance. But behind this mask of submission, Admiral Harrington's contingency plans expanded into Operation Shadow Forge. President Chen addressed a classified session of world leaders. "We will appear broken while we forge ourselves into a weapon. We will give the Valforans exactly what they expect to see, a defeated species accepting its place, while we prepare our response." In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, vast automated manufacturing facilities were constructed in hollowed-out asteroids, hidden from Valforan observation. The brightest minds in physics, engineering, and military strategy were sequestered in underground facilities on Earth and Mars. Dr. Samira Kapoor, a brilliant quantum physicist, led a team reverse engineering the Valforan technology they had acquired during the years of false friendship. "They never gave us weapons," she noted, "but much of what they provided can be repurposed." Meanwhile, Commander Thomas Reeves, whose sister had died on Nova Haven, established a covert intelligence network. Using stealth ships that barely registered on sensors, his teams infiltrated the periphery of Valforan space, gathering critical intelligence on fleet movements, defense systems, and communication protocols. For 8 years, humanity presented a facade of compliance while secretly building the most formidable fleet the species had ever conceived. The ships were constructed in modules, assembled only in the final stages to avoid detection. New weapon systems were developed based on theoretical applications of Valforan technology that the aliens themselves hadn't explored. Admiral Harrington, now 72 but still sharp as ever, oversaw the creation of not just a fleet, but a comprehensive battle doctrine designed specifically to counter Valforan tactics and technology. "They believe us primitive," he told the commanders of the Shadow Fleet. "Their arrogance will be their undoing." In underground training facilities, pilots and crews trained in simulators, preparing for ships that didn't officially exist. Soldiers practiced for combat scenarios they weren't supposed to anticipate, all while the Valforans looked down on Earth from their monitoring stations, seeing only what humanity wanted them to see, a defeated species that had accepted its subordinate place in the galactic hierarchy. But the hour of reckoning approached. The fleet was nearly ready. The intelligence was comprehensive. The crews were trained. Humanity had transformed its grief and rage into methodical preparation, and the Valforan Empire remained completely unaware of the storm gathering just beyond their sight. As the 8th anniversary of the Nova Haven massacre approached, Admiral Harrington addressed the assembled commanders of Earth's hidden fleet. Tomorrow, the Valforans will learn the cost of underestimating humanity. Operation Reckoning begins at dawn. Operation Reckoning. Dawn broke over the Pacific as Admiral Harrington stood in Earth Fleet Command's underground headquarters. Around him, officers monitored holographic displays showing the positions of 300 warships, humanity's shadow fleet, stationed throughout the solar system, hidden among asteroids and behind moons, each awaiting the signal. Status report, Harrington demanded, his weathered face betraying no emotion. All vessels report ready, Admiral, replied Commander Sarah Chen, the President's daughter and Harrington's Chief of Staff. Vanguard teams are in position near the monitoring stations. QEC communication network is online and secure. Harrington nodded. The Quantum Entanglement Communication System was humanity's greatest technological achievement of the past 8 years. Instantaneous communication that couldn't be intercepted or detected by the Valforans. Begin Operation Reckoning. Phase 1. Across the solar system, 12 stealth vessels silently approached the Valforan monitoring stations. These ships, incorporating metamaterials that absorbed rather than reflected sensors, were practically invisible until they struck. On the stealth destroyer UES Nemesis, Captain James Rodriguez watched the Valforan station grow larger on his tactical display. Weapons hot. Execute. The Nemesis fired its primary weapon, a focused graviton beam that collapsed the station's shields through localized distortion of space-time itself. Before the Valforans could transmit a warning, precise strikes destroyed their communication array. Marine teams in advanced combat suits breached the station, subduing the surprised aliens. Similar scenes played out at each monitoring station. Within 17 minutes, all Valforan observation posts around Sol were neutralized without a single warning message reaching the Empire. Phase 1 complete, Commander Chen reported. All monitoring stations secured. No transmissions detected. The path out of the solar system now clear, the Shadow Fleet began to move. The vessels emerged from hiding, forming into 3 battle groups. These ships bore little resemblance to the Explorer and Science vessels the Valforans had encountered before. They were angular, black as space itself, with integrated weapon systems developed from adaptations of Valforan technology, combined with humanity's unique approach to physics. Admiral Harrington transferred his flag to the UES Retribution, the fleet's largest vessel at nearly 2 kilometers in length. From its command center, he would direct the most ambitious military operation in human history. Phase 2, he ordered. Jump to Epsilon coordinates. The fleet engaged their Alcubierre drives, but with modifications the Valforans had never seen. Rather than creating the traditional bubble of warped spacetime, these drives incorporated Dr. Kapper's breakthrough. Phase-shifted warp fields that allowed for faster travel and, critically, did not create the subspace ripples that Valforan sensors monitored for incoming ships. The human fleet arrived at Epsilon Eridani, site of a major Valforan military outpost, achieving complete tactical surprise. The outpost's meager defensive screen of 6 cruisers had no warning before 50 human warships materialized in their midst. Captain Elena Reyes, commanding the battle cruiser UES Vindicator, opened the attack. In the 8 years since first contact, she had dedicated herself to understanding Valforan tactical doctrine. Now she put that knowledge to deadly use. Target their command and control nodes first, she ordered. Secondary targets are power distribution systems. The Vindicator's weapons struck with precision. The electromagnetic pulse cannons, technology reverse-engineered from Valforan shield generators, overwhelmed the alien vessel's systems. As the Valforan ships drifted powerless, Elena transmitted on their emergency frequencies. This is Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Fleet. Your empire murdered 40,000 human civilians at Nova Haven. Today we begin our response. Your crew will be permitted to evacuate. You have 5 minutes. Across Valforan space, similar attacks struck simultaneously. Humanity's intelligence network had identified 37 key targets: shipyards, supply depots, and communication hubs, all vulnerable, all hit within the first hour of the operation. On the Valforan throne world of Corvesh, Emperor Drexel received the reports with disbelief. "Impossible," he hissed, scales flaring red with rage. "The humans have no significant military capacity. We confirmed this ourselves." High Commander Zelrath, his military advisor, displayed the incoming data on the war room's holographic projector. "The evidence is irrefutable, Emperor. Human forces have neutralized our entire Epsilon Sector fleet. They've destroyed shipyards at Thorax and Nevix. 17 communication relays are offline. We are facing a coordinated large-scale attack with technology that matches or exceeds our own." "How could they hide this development?" Drexel demanded. "We underestimated them," Zelrath admitted. "They showed us what we expected to see." In the command center of the Retribution, Admiral Harrington watched the holographic display as green indicators confirmed successful strikes across Valforan space. "Phase 2 complete," Commander Chen reported. 83% of primary targets neutralized with minimal casualties. The Valforans are mobilizing their main fleet from the central systems. Harrington nodded. "They're reacting exactly as predicted. Commence Phase 3. While the Valforan Empire scrambled to respond to attacks on their periphery, a specialized strike team led by Commander Thomas Reeves approached Corvesh itself. His vessel, the UES Shadowstep, incorporated the most advanced stealth technology humans had developed, allowing it to slip past the throne world's defensive grid. "Team Epsilon in position," Reeves reported, deploying the package. The package was a network of quantum-linked devices designed by Dr. Kapper. Once activated, they would disrupt the Valforans' faster-than-light communication system across their entire empire, isolating each world and fleet from Central Command. "Package deployed," Reeves confirmed. "Initiating in 3, 2, 1. Throughout Valforan space, communication systems suddenly failed. Emergency backups attempted to compensate, only to encounter cascading failures as the carefully crafted quantum disruption spread. With the Valforan command structure in chaos, Admiral Harrington ordered the human fleet to advance toward the heart of the Empire. The main Valforan defense fleet, consisting of over 200 capital ships, had assembled at Mevnar, a strategic junction point protecting the approach to Corvesh. "They still outnumber us," noted Commander Chen, studying the tactical display. "Numbers aren't everything," Harrington replied calmly. "Deploy the drone swarms." From the holds of human capital ships emerged thousands of autonomous combat drones, each the size of a small fighter, but carrying the firepower of a frigate. These machines, controlled by advanced AI systems developed specifically for this operation, swarmed toward the Valforan formation. The Valforan fleet, trained in conventional warfare, found their targeting systems overwhelmed by the sheer number of small, fast-moving threats. Their weapons, designed to engage capital ships, struggled to track the drones. Meanwhile, the human capital ships held back, allowing the drone swarm to eliminate Valforan point defenses before closing to deliver devastating strikes. High Commander Zelrath watched in horror as the battle unfolded. "Their tactics, they're unlike anything in our doctrine. We're losing cohesion." Emperor Drexel, his scales now pale with fear, made a decision. "Send the message. Activate the World Breaker." The World Breaker was the Valforan Empire's ultimate weapon, a massive gravitational manipulation device capable of tearing apart planetary bodies. It had been used only twice in the Empire's history, both times to crush rebellions by subjugated species. On the Retribution, Dr. Samira Kapper detected the energy buildup. "Admiral, they're activating something massive at coordinates 227 to 800 and 49,316. The energy signature is off the charts." The World Breaker, Harrington said grimly. Intelligence had suggested its existence but never confirmed it. All ships, prepare for evasive maneuvers. Dr. Kapper, options. Kapper's fingers flew across her console. The principles should be similar to our graviton technology, just on a vastly larger scale. If we can generate a counter-resonance field. Before she could complete her thought, a blinding beam of energy erupted from a previously hidden installation on Corvesh's moon, aimed directly at the human fleet. But instead of striking the vessels, the beam suddenly curved, twisting back toward Valforan ships. On the shadow step, Commander Reeves had recognized the energy signature and activated his final contingency. His team had placed quantum resonance reflectors throughout the Valforan defense grid, devices designed specifically to redirect massive energy weapons back at their source. The redirected beam tore through 40 Valforan warships before the weapon operators realized what was happening and shut it down. Panic spread through the Imperial forces as they witnessed their superweapon turned against them. Admiral Harrington opened a channel to the Imperial Palace. Emperor Drexel, your defenses are compromised. Your fleet is in disarray. Your superweapon has failed. These are our terms: unconditional surrender of all forces that participated in the Nova Haven massacre and those who ordered it. Reparations for the lives lost. A treaty that permanently limits your military presence within 50 light-years of any human world. On Corvesh, Emperor Drexel faced the unthinkable: defeat at the hands of a species he had dismissed as primitive. I will not surrender to lesser beings, he hissed to his advisors. Prepare my personal vessel. But as Imperial officials rushed to comply, they found all escape routes blocked by human forces that had infiltrated the capital during the battle. Commander Reeves himself led the team that captured the Emperor as he attempted to flee through a secret underground passage. Emperor Drexel, Reeves said, facing the alien who had ordered the death of his sister and 40,000 other innocents, humanity sends its regards. Within days, the Valforan military hierarchy collapsed. Without the Emperor's direct control, and with their communications still compromised, individual commanders made their own decisions to surrender. The empire that had terrorized countless species for centuries was brought to its knees in less than a week. In the aftermath, humanity emerged as a significant galactic power. The treaty signed on the bridge of the Retribution not only secured human interests, but also liberated 17 species previously subjugated by the Valforans. Earth established the Interstellar Alliance, a cooperative framework based on mutual respect and defense rather than imperial dominance. Admiral Harrington, standing before the memorial to Nova Haven on the 8th anniversary of the massacre, addressed the families of those lost. They believed they could break us. They believed we would accept subjugation. They failed to understand the fundamental truth about humanity. We do not bow. We adapt. We overcome. And when necessary, we fight with everything we have. The Shadow Fleet that had remained hidden for 8 years now patrolled openly, a symbol of humanity's resolve and capability. The Valthorans, reduced to their core worlds and stripped of their military might, faced the humbling task of rebuilding their society without relying on conquest and subjugation. As for Captain Alina Reyes, she returned to the mission that had always called her: exploration. The UES Pathfinder II, larger and more advanced than its predecessor, ventured beyond the borders of known space. But this time, humanity went forth not in naive optimism, but with clear eyes and the strength to defend itself. The stars had witnessed humanity's vengeance. Now, they would witness its wisdom.